So, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to be learning from Rav Kluger, Megillat Esther, his Pirush on Megillat Esther, and this is about the Nes of Purim, the wiping out of Amalek and receiving the Torah, Sheval Peh, Mikoch Achdut, from the power of unity. Esther says, Lech Knos, et kol Yehudim, go gather all of the Jews together. Simply put, what was Esther saying? That she wants Am Yisrael to pray, to start to pray to Hashem, get all the Jews together, and get them in the Beit Knesset, start to open up the hearts and talk to Hashem. But in a deeper sense, Esther wanted to gather in all the Jews together, and by way of the Achdut, by way of the unity, they will get more strength, and then Haman won't be able to do bad to Am Yisrael. Like we found in the words of Haman himself. Haman says in the Megillah, Yeshno am echad mefuzar mefurad ben ha'amim. There's one nation that is spread out and separated. Meaning they're all over, but they're also not connected amongst the nations. Sharei sheikar halishna bisha. Shamar Haman ayah lepirud. What is the worst thing that he said about it? It's not mefuzar. Mefuzar is okay. We're scattered we live in different places. That's one thing. But mefurad, that was the negative thing he said about us. That we were separate. That we were distanced from each other in our hearts. That we weren't unified. Therefore, the main avoda to subdue this klipa of Haman, to kill this person, Haman, is so wicked, coming to detach us from Hashem, is by way of unity. And like we see with Amalek, when Amalek wanted to come and blemish the nation of Israel, he started from the weak people. Now there already became a separation, a difference inside Am Yisrael. So the main way to fight, the main aspect of this war, is when Am Yisrael are in their land, and after we've crowned ourselves a king. That's really when you can do it. Mechiyat Amalek. There's deot in the poskim that killing Amalek, erasing Amalek, has nothing to do with the individual. Each individual Jew doesn't have that mitzvah. It's a national mitzvah. It's not an individual mitzvah. There are poskim that say that, right? There are those that say no, but there are poskim that hold the wiping out of Amalek is a mitzvah that the nation of Israel had when they came into the land of Israel. Right? There's 3 mitzvot that we had: to build the Beit HaMikdash, to wipe out Amalek, and to appoint a king. Right? And they're all connected to each other, and you can't have one without the other. And we see that we're living in the outcome of not doing any of those 3 when we came back here 70 plus years ago. ויש עוד להוסיף בזה, שהנה אמרו חז"ל, הלך אצל מרדכי, ומצאו שהיה יושב בבית המדרש ותינוקות יושבים לפניו. It says in Esther Rabbah, in the Midrash about Esther, that Mordechai, they went to go check on Mordechai, and they found Mordechai sitting in the Beit Midrash, learning with all the Jewish kids. ושקים במותניהם ועוסקים בתורה. They're wearing sackcloth, they're wearing mourning clothing, and they're busy learning Torah. And they were crying out and they were praying. They counted them and they found 22,000 children. 22 letters of the Torah. Why is it that Chazal made it such a point to tell us that there's 22,000 children there? Mordechai wanted to arouse, by way of the power of unity. Complete unity in Am Yisrael is only done by way of Torah. סגולה להתמדה שיזכה להיות מתמיד בלימודו הוא להיזהר לבלי לדבר על שום איש מישראל. You want a sgula to be able to be consistent with your Torah learning, to know that you can learn Torah consistently. Every day show up for hours, you can do it uninterrupted, you can go deep inside the world of the Torah. Be very careful to not say anything about another Jew. Sgula. You want good Torah? Don't talk about Jews. It's like Reb Nachman says in a different place. Reb Nachman says that if you have a problem with a Jew, that means you have a problem with the letter in the Torah. Because if you have a problem with because every Jew has a letter in the Torah that he's rooted in. And if you have a problem with the letter in the Torah, that means you have a problem with Hashem. Because the Torah is just all the names of Hashem. So it goes both ways, right? If you have a problem with Hashem, that means you're going to have a problem with Torah, which means you have a problem with Jews. If you have a problem with the Torah, you're going to have a problem with Hashem and with the Jews. If you have a problem with the Jews, you're going to have a problem with the Torah and with Hashem. It's all connected. You can't detach it. So by way of achdut, by way of unity, by way of the unity, a person is able to cling to the Torah. Kud shavuichu ve'oraita v'Yisrael chad, like the Zohar says. Right? The Kadosh Baruch Hu, Am Yisrael, and the Torah are one. How do we have Shekhinah coming down? Asicha bechukecha. Be learning and be talking about your laws. When I talk about Torah, when I'm busy with Torah, then we have Ashkat Shekhinah. When we come unified together, 22,000 people of Am Yisrael. V'hashta yityashev ad lemeod. Shal ken asaf Mordechai daika kavbet alafim tinokot shel beit Rabban. Mordechai knew what he was doing. He went and he specifically got 22,000 children. 22,000 Jewish kids. Let's steig, let's learn. And it's all intense kavanah, a yichud as they say, right? A physical gathering of 22,000 neshamot to correspond to the 22 letters of the Torah, to arouse that unity that will bring us back to Torah. Keneged divrei Aman, yeshno am echad mefuzar mefurad ben ha'amim. There is this one scattered and separated nation. So Mordechai said, that's what you think of us? Watch this. 22,000 Jewish kids screaming their hearts out to Hashem in Psukim. You want to see Achdut? This is the light of the Torah Sheba'al Peh that came down in this time. The light of it, the light, the Ha'ara, the illumination that was coming from the Torah Sheba'al Peh in the time of Mordechai and Esther. שבכוח הקיבוץ של כלל ישראל כאחד נשלמים כל אותיות התורה. By way of this kibbutz, of this ingathering of Am Yisrael together, Klal Yisrael, כאחד as one, you complete all of the letters of the Torah. הרי שעצם האחדות שהייתה אז בעם ישראל היא גופה הביטוי לתורה שבעל פה. The fact that you had such unity at that time was a physical representation, right, of what's called Torah Sheba'al Peh, the oral Torah. Shal ken zacha Maran Bal HaChafetz Chaim, Yisrael Meir, Zecher Tzadik Kadosh Livracha, he was able to unify all of Am Yisrael with Mishnah Berurah. Everybody learns Mishnah Berurah. Sephardim, Ashkenazim, everybody learns it. Not everybody learns Shulchan Aruch Mamash, but everybody touches the Mishnah Berurah. Even Shulchan Aruch Harav of the Chabadnikim, right? They have Shulchan Aruch Harav, but that was written 200 something years ago. It's not, you need a Mishnah Berurah. Where do they go when they need to bring it to modern day? Mishnah Berurah. Everybody touches Mishnah Berurah. How could it be that the Chafetz Chaim wrote a book in the 1900s, 1800s, 1900s, that everybody in Am Yisrael connects to? Because he made the books Chafetz Chaim, which is all about guarding the tongue, not speaking about other Jews, not going against, not making separation between the souls of Israel, by way of him unifying all of Am Yisrael as one person with one heart, not talking about the other. Therefore, obviously, he was able to unify people in Torah with the Shulchan Aruch, with an explanation of the Shulchan Aruch called the Mishnah Berurah. This is a small teaching from Rav Kluger, right? Just to show us the power of the unity. When we can have unity and we have connection between the souls of Israel and we don't talk about other people, then we can bring unity with Torah, right? And it's impossible. The B'yam Darkecha explains that it's impossible to have unity, true unity, without experiencing dveikut yourself. If you don't have your own relationship with Hashem, and you don't know that your soul is rooted in a lofty, holy place, you'll never be able to see that in the other person. Because what we see externally is just separate, just difference, just different languages, different backgrounds, different actions, different behaviors, different Torahs, different halachas, multiplicity in every different facet. The more that I know that Hashem is behind everything, then I'm able to look beyond all the externalities and to tap into the neshama that's there. Right? And the Torah is the way to teach us all of this. The Torah is filled with stories of the opposite, right? Of brothers fighting with each other, of people not getting along. And it's teaching us the ways by way of the mitzvot and the halachot and those stories to learn from life, to do the right thing. And whenever we see unity in the Torah, we see immense bracha, we see immense shmirah, protection, and shefa coming down to Am Yisrael. And anytime there's pirud and there's and there's problems and there's disconnect, and chas v'chalila, the outcome is usually galut. It was the way with Yosef, it was that way with the 10 tribes. It's always that way. It's always that way. Unity is what happened. The Kruvim, right? When the Kruvim were face to face, there was bracha in Am Yisrael. When the Kruvim in the Beit HaMikdash turned their faces away, Chalila v'chas. Zat Hashem, and we all come together. This was the day that it was all happening. Not exactly, right? It was Pesach. It was Nisan in the month of the whole Purim story. The end, the Yeshua came down all in Pesach. They sat together and they fasted, and they gathered. They nullified Leila Seder. They didn't do Leila Seder that year, but they were together. They were unified. So that means that there was Shechina there, and that means that they represented Torah Shabbat Pei, which is Leila Seder, right? The Seder, the Zdarim that the Chachamim instituted for us. The beginning of the year, Rosh Hashanah Melachim, all of that was nullified in order for us to be able to be unified, to come together, especially by way of the children. Children is a representation of the pure souls that haven't sinned. The Jewish children that are so pure at their core, they don't know negativity, they don't know of Haman, they don't know of the people that come to say to them no in life, and don't do that, and don't do that, and you're not able to do that. Those children are like prophets, little prophets, just connected to Hashem, connected to the Dveikut, and their voice has the ability to remove any decrees in life. So too, if we all started again, we start fresh, Ta'anit Esther, we take our will to Hashem, we start a new page, we don't eat. We're born again. If we're born again, we're like children, we're Bali Tshuva, we're like children. We have the power with our kol, with our voice and the reading of the Megillah, to bring down all these lights and to remove any decrees that are in Am Yisrael, to bring back our captives, protect our soldiers, Geulah Shlema in every single soul, every heart and every mind, which will lead to the full Geulah for the whole entire world, building in the Beit HaMikdash. The Goyim will say, Beit Yaakov, Lechu v'nelecha, let's go. Let's do it. Let's serve Hashem in Yerushalayim. Zat Hashem, it's happening soon. It's happening soon. This is the last Chag. Nisan is the time of Geulah. We're at the end of the year, the end of the cycle of rectifying our mochin and all of our midot. That's it. The last step is Netzach. With Netzach is eternity. Tzvat, Gematria Ktana, Netzach. It's all coming together. Zat Hashem. Like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says in Parashat Vayichi, Me'am Noez, it says there, in the future, Tchiyat HaMeti, and the resurrection of the dead will happen. Everyone will come together in Tzfat. Mashiach will show up, and we're going to walk together to Yerushalayim. The beginning is here, from the tzipiyah, from the anticipation for all this good to come down. We're connecting our mind back to Hashem in unity, in Dveikut, and B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to see these lights very soon. Amen.